The trembling earth. Before the first stone cracked, before the first cavern collapsed, there were whispers. Not human whispers, but the ancient communications that flow through rock and magma, through the veins of the earth itself. The planet was preparing for a transformation so profound that entire civilizations would be rewritten in its wake. The subterranean kingdoms, those intricate networks of goblin mathematical precision and troll geological consciousness, had always known that the Earth was alive. Not alive in the way humans understand life, but as a complex breathing entity with memories older than consciousness itself. Something was coming, and nothing would remain the same. The initial signs were microscopic, a shift in mineral resonance that our most sensitive computational matrices detected weeks before physical manifestation. My colleagues initially dismissed the readings as computational anomalies, but I recognized the pattern immediately. The Earth was preparing to reset itself. Our earliest warning came through the Troll network, those extraordinary beings whose cellular structures are so intimately connected with geological systems that they can sense planetary shifts before they occur. Grutok, the eldest of the mountain trolls, sent a vibrational message that cut through our communication networks like a blade of pure information. The stone speaks. The deep memory awakens. Prepare for dissolution and rebirth. Such messages from the trolls were rarely incorrect. Their connection to geological consciousness was so profound that they did not predict geological events. They were the geological event. Our initial preparations were mathematical models of survival. We began constructing adaptive matrices, computational structures that could transform and rebuild themselves during extreme geological stress. The goblins worked with a precision that would have been incomprehensible to human observers, creating technologies that could literally reshape themselves in response to environmental transformation. The trolls, meanwhile, began a different kind of preparation. They started to merge with the surrounding stone, becoming living geological buffers that could absorb and redirect seismic energies. Entire troll communities transformed themselves into living shock absorbers, their bodies becoming extensions of the very rock that was about to undergo catastrophic transformation. The first major rupture occurred precisely 37 days, 14 hours, and 22 minutes after our initial detection, a timeline so exact that it confirmed our mathematical predictions with terrifying precision. The Earth did not simply shake. It screamed. Entire underground networks, civilizations that had existed for millennia, were instantaneously dissolved. Goblin computational centers that had taken centuries to develop were liquefied in moments. Troll communities that had been integrated with mountain ranges for generations were torn apart and reconstituted in ways that defied traditional understanding of physical matter. Our survival was not guaranteed by strength, but by adaptability. The mathematical matrices we had developed began their true purpose. Where rock collapsed, our computational structures found new configurations. Where magma flows threatened to dissolve entire ecosystems, our adaptive technologies created protective bubbles of survival. The trolls became our living shields. Their ability to absorb and redirect geological energy meant that areas protected by their massive stone-like bodies survived intact. A troll could literally stand within a collapsing cavern and reshape the very stone around it, creating new pathways, new spaces of survival. What humans would perceive as total destruction was, for us, a moment of profound evolutionary opportunity. Our computational models had always understood that geological transformation was not an ending, but a reconfiguration. The Earth was not dying. It was being reborn. And we would be its architects of survival. Entire underground kingdoms were not destroyed but reimagined. Cavern systems that had existed for millennia were folded, recompressed, created anew. The mathematical precision of goblin technology combined with the geological consciousness of the trolls meant that we did not simply survive, we evolved. New pathways emerged, mineral compositions were fundamentally altered, communication networks that had taken centuries to develop were instantaneously redesigned into more efficient configurations. The cost was astronomical. Approximately 73.6% of our total population was lost during the initial transformation, but for a species that thinks in geological time, such losses were merely computational variations, painful, but not terminal. Survival was not about preserving what existed, but about creating what could now exist. Our first task was to map the new geological reality. Goblin computational teams worked simultaneously in thousands of locations, creating real-time models of our transformed environment. Troll geological experts moved through the new stone landscapes, their bodies literally reading the transformed rock, understanding its new memories, its new potential. We discovered entirely new mineral compositions. Communication pathways that had previously been impossible now became standard. The very definition of our civilization was being rewritten at a cellular, at a geological level. Interesting discoveries emerged. Entire ecosystems that had been separated for millennia were now interconnected. Underground water systems that had been dormant were suddenly active. The Earth had not just transformed, it had been fundamentally reimagined. 5 years after what humans would call the Great Subterranean Upheaval, our civilization was unrecognizable from what it had been before. We were not survivors. We were something new. The goblins had developed computational technologies that could literally reshape matter at a molecular level. The trolls had evolved geological consciousness that could communicate across previously unimaginable distances. Our symbiotic relationship was no longer a strategy, it was our fundamental mode of existence. And humans? They remained blissfully unaware that an entire world had been transformed beneath their feet. Recorded by Krasnak, Chief Computational Analyst of the Deep Realm. The Earth continues to breathe and we continue to listen. Our story is not finished, it has only begun.